Hey everyone, welcome back. First off, before we get this video rolling, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for the support on my last video. It was a bit overwhelming after announcing my college decision, just reading all of your positive comments. I am incredibly excited for the next chapter of my life, running, as well as here on YouTube. Today I have a special video on deck. I have decided that I'm going to combine two meets into one video. To be honest, I'm a bit behind on the editing. The first meet that I'll be showing you was about a month ago, and then the second meet was about 3 weeks ago. So for this reason, this video will be a little bit longer than the typical video, but I think it's worth it. Both of these meets that I raced at led to PRs in the 3200, and they're both 3200s. So two 3200s, one video. Let's kick things off with a very competitive 3200 at West Des Moines Valley. So this meet at West Des Moines Valley, it's 2 hours west of Iowa City, and it's one of the most competitive meets in April in the state of Iowa ahead of the Drake Relays. My PR going into this race was a 10:17, and so I was seated 13th. This was a competitive race and a competitive field. We had some of the top 3,200 runners in the state in my race. Dowling Catholic, who just won the state meet in cross country, was there. Johnston, West Des Moines Valley, and on top of that, the weather was almost perfect. There was very little wind, somewhere around 48, 49 degrees Fahrenheit. So we knew it would be going out very fast. Seriously.
What happened?
Here we go, round two.
Relax, Steve. On your mark.
So after the first lap, in about 70-ish seconds, I found myself kind of separated from the leaders. It split off into kind of two groups. The front pack of guys who probably ended up running around 9:30, and then the guys right around 10 flat to 10:10 who were just chasing, trying to get back up with the leaders. So I went through that first mile in around 5:02, and I was feeling pretty good. The unfortunate thing was that I found myself in a good pack, but the pack was slowing down. So I decided to put in a bit of a surge to try to catch back up to some of the other guys that were ahead of me. With 800 meters to go, I was mostly alone, and the unfortunate thing was the other guys in my group who were also feeling like the pace was a little bit slow found the perfect opportunity when I surged to surge right with me, and so I was leading the charge of the group, and I knew I was about to get sat on and outkicked, and sure enough, that would happen. So coming down this home straightaway, I didn't really have too much of a kick, but I tried to hold off some of the other runners who were around me, but failed to do so, and I crossed the line in about 10:13. It ended up being a 4-second PR, and I was pretty happy about it. I learned about a week later, when I was talking to my future college coach, I learned that one of the guys that outkicked me was actually going to become my teammate. So I'm looking forward to getting outkicked even more in training and in racing for the next 4 years. That was a very fun race, and I really enjoy racing with these guys in the state of Iowa. After running 10:13 for a 4-second PR at West Des Moines Valley, I turned around a week later to race another 3,200 at Iowa City West High. It was the Eastern Iowa Track and Field Festival. This was held as kind of a last chance meet to qualify for the Drake Relays. The Drake Relays qualification window would be only a few days longer after this meet, so it served as a good attempt for others to get into Drake. I knew I would be quite far off of qualifying for Drake. It actually ended up being 9:34.5, the cutoff to get in. So I'm nowhere near that, but this race would still be fast.
Good morning, everyone. Todd Father here. It is Saturday, April 16th, 2022. This morning we are on the west side of Iowa City at West High School for the Hollingsworth Relays, Eastern Iowa Track and Field Festival. This is an invitational only meet. This morning Parker will be running the 3,200 meters. It is a chilly morning with temperatures in the low 40s with a slight breeze out of the northwest. This track is actually oriented so that we're going to have a crosswind today. It shouldn't be too much of a factor because the track is kind of down in a little bit of a bowl. Should be a great day for racing. Looking forward to some fast times.
So like I said, this meet was supposed to be fast, and it was. The first lap of the 3200 for the leaders was about 66 to 67 seconds. For me, I took it out a little bit slower, but still quite faster than I needed to run, and considering it was a little breezy on the backstretch, I went out a bit quick, but I wanted to make sure that I still had some contact with the leaders. I went out in 70 seconds. The next 3 laps ended up being quite monotonous, as they often are in a 3200. I was just trying to move my way back up to my teammates and move my way back up to some of the other guys who were beginning to fade a little bit. I believe my first mile was about 5 flat, and going through this 1600, I was feeling good. I kept moving up by putting in the surges on the home stretch where I was going with the wind, and really trying to focus on getting back up to guys so that on the backstretch I would have a little bit of a wind block. In a 3200, I believe that the 600 meter mark, 700 meter mark left of a race is really where you should start dialing it in and picking up the pace a little bit. After moving up a little bit on the backstretch, on the home stretch with 500 meters to go, I tried to put in another surge. So as you can see, with 150 meters to go, I was right on Noah's shoulder after reeling him in, and then it would come down to a kick, but ultimately he ended up holding me off, as it often happens in practice. I crossed the line in 10:08.96, a 5-second PR, in 7th place in another talented field. This was, up to this point, the best race I've ever run in high school track. But ultimately, the goal this season is to break 10 in the 3200, so you will have to continue to follow along and subscribe if you want to see what happens next. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do not have an inquiry of the episode on my mind right now, so what I'm going to do is throw one up on the screen right now. So please comment below, share your thoughts, and I look forward to reading your comments. So thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, run to the max. Goodbye.